Well, his influences certainly shaped me, to be the artist that I am today. There's no doubt that, without his influence, I probably wouldn't have been, working in the field of creature making for TV and film, and going into his studio as a wee kid and just seeing whatever he was working on at that given time on the drawing board. I mean, it was immersing yourself into an alternate world of fantasy and horror art. And then, as you can see from everybody that's contributed to the gallery, the impression that he's left on them and the fact that it's spread from multiple generations, and he continues to inspire today, which is, a true testament to his talent as an artist.
His work rewards repeat viewing because there's elements and layers to it that you're not going to catch the first time.
His comic art just spoke to me immediately at an early age, and it still does. It still influences my own work.
I have the Look Back book, and I have the Frankenstein book, and honestly, that stuff is hard reference still. I mean, here I am, I've been doing my job for 30 years, and I still look at that guy's stuff as a source of inspiration and reference.
My favorite medium as an artist is pen and ink, and his line work blows my mind. The detail and the different directions of the lines that he chooses, I don't know how to say it better than that, but that's what just makes him wonderful to me.
Bernie's work is the monster art that so many monster kids fell in love with and were inspired by so early on. And his anatomy and his hyper-detailed style are cut above most anything else out there.
Bernie has fire when he draws, and not many people put that much into the pose, the drawing, the layout. Everything was Bernie. He is a creative person that is a technician.
Bernie always had a way of, even in his early career, and it just got better and better, of distilling things down to what felt like they were definitive. In another realm, like Ray Harryhausen had a way of designing characters that, when you saw the Cyclops, it was perfect. You couldn't make it better. Bernie had the same approach in his art.
Gosh, what is it about his stuff? There's a clean line going on.
I think it's in the way he details stuff and just the gesture and the movement that he gets in a figure.
And every single maquette that I've ever done for myself, model kit for myself, for films, and every single maquette I've ever done, I always refer to his work to get just inspiration, ideas, poses.
There was a lot of movement in his still drawings and all the connective tissue and how organic it was.
But beyond that, it's just how dimensional it was. Growing up as a kid that wanted to draw, I could never quite do that because I look at the depth of his work and just how, just amazingly, obviously he's a master and he changed the game for the comic industry.
I was a young comic book fan back in the early 70s. I was just probably 13, 14 years old. And I just, Bernie and those guys like Neil Adams and Barry Smith and those guys it was just like a bolt of lightning. It just kind of, it just took over. And that's when I was coming up, and it was so exciting, reading Swamp Thing and buying the comic books, the covers, just because, Bernie did an artwork in there, and Neil did an artwork, and I was, I'd be going to the comic shops, and I was just pulling out the issues.
You couldn't pick up a book in the early to mid 70s without seeing his work on the covers, like this, for example, And seeing House of Secrets, seeing House of Mystery, seeing all those great comics that he illustrated, it was just mind-blowing stuff.
And it really pushed things to a new level. But yeah, it's always unmistakably him.
I think he defined the word macabre to me. I seem to recall I was talking to some of the guys here, but the word macabre came to me when I discovered Bernie Wrightson. And I kind of consider him the master of macabre.
I've never met Bernie, but he's always been an inspiration in the stuff that I've worked on over the years, especially when I was sculpting at Don Post Studios. And when we lost the Universal license to the classic monsters, and had to revamp the entire Halloween line for that season, Bernie was one of the people that we turned to for inspiration. So Bernie was the cornerstone of our research and inspiration for things like the Timberwolf and the Mummy 5000 BC and other characters that we created, which reinvented and reinvigorated the whole Halloween industry.
Bernie Wrightson is a legendary and flawless comic artist, and there's so much you can learn from just looking at any one of his illustrations to final comic pieces.
You guys all came out here tonight, you know, to display your love. You know, I can't express just how much it really means to all of us, and you know, I think, you know, you'd just be so heartwarmed knowing that everybody just came in, you know, to show the love. So thank you all.
We can't clap.
What I would say to Bernie is thank you so much for your years of creativity and sharing that with us.
Bernie, thank you so much for all the inspiration and the great artwork.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your art with us.
Bernie Wrightson, you're the man. Thank you so much for everything you've created over the years.
I feel privileged to be able to say it here to you, how much your work meant to me and means to me still.
And just know that we all are pulling for you.
Wish you all the best. Debbie sends her best, and hope life isn't all that bad in Texas.
Looking at your artwork here, I just kind of wish you were here in person, and I hope you have a real speedy recovery.
Thanks for all the wonderful things you've done.
Your stuff is tremendously influential to all of us, and you know, your legacy lives in our hearts, you know, and so quite profoundly.
Your show here, your tribute is amazing, and wish you could be here. And I miss you from working at K&B back in the day. And I hope to see you soon, and get well, sir.
This is an amazing night. I wish you were here, and we all love you, man.
I miss the hell out of him. We got to work together. I hope we get to do more stuff together because it's always fun. It's always a kick.
Dad, I hope within this video you get to see just the broad spectrum of everyone and the work that they have contributed as their way of just saying thank you for the inspiration, and thank you for, you know, giving horror an image and a voice. And I love you, and thank you for everything you've done for me.